Good evening, everybody. To Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, with you live and direct. And we are strong as could be, brothers and sisters. We got our apple cider going here, and we are going nowhere. We are strong. We are united. We are light. We are love. We are here to stay. You heard that from the commander loud and clear. We are going nowhere. We are right here. We're going to be here with you. We're not jumping to the mountains, hiding in the hills. No, folks. Commander's live and well. Encounters is live and well, and you are alive and well. And we are going to stand strong together, united as human beings on the planet for what is right. And it is our right to be here as cosmic beings, as not only human beings. Man, I am amped up tonight. Watch out. The fire is lit. Watch out. And all Earth-based governments, got news for you. You have no power over the people. No Earth-based governments have power over the people. We have the power. And if anybody on TikTok makes you try to be in fear of what's happening out there, I only have one word for you. Stop it. That's 2 words. Stop it. Stop with the fear. Stop with all that garbage. We're not running for the hills. We're not going to different applications. We're not going to go running to XO app or CO app or the JBC app. No, we're staying right here. Because those people that are running away, you have no strength within your spirit to fight. But we are here. We are light. We are fighters. We will fight for what's right. So we are good. Commander's good. You're good. I'm good. We're all good. And we're going to stand united and strong in our light, folks. Guarantee you. Encounters is going nowhere but here. And on my YouTube channel, all the recorded shows. So let's see what happens. Let's just do what we do best and do a good show. Now, I'm going to show you tonight a close-up of a good actual clear close-up. It's someone recorded in New Jersey towards the end of December, somewhere in Jersey, in more and more of a remote area of the state. They got a close-up of an actual object, a flying object that was definitely, you can call it a UFO, you call it a spaceship. It wasn't one of those drones or anything. But it's a good video. And I've seen tons of video. If you know me, I look at tons and tons of video. So we're just glad to be here. Hey, Marinette, good to see you. The Crafted Girl Boutique, welcome. It is a Sunday evening on another edition of Encounters, live and direct. The one thing I will say for the algorithm on TikTok, if you type in the word with all this stuff going on, if you focus on one of those topics, the algorithm takes off and you see everybody talking about it because of the algorithm. Watch what an algorithm does. If I put in the word, I love fried chicken, then I'll be getting all kinds of video coming through my TikTok of fried chicken, restaurants, fried chicken eaters, people that love fried chicken. The algorithm is smart. It'll focus on whatever word you choose to focus on. So I'm trying to defocus on that other word because it's all over the place. Anyway, good evening, Ozzy, Nick Coleman, everybody else out there. Alabama, good to see you, Kathy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Encounters. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my friend, the late Dr. Strangers. Hey, Pete Star TV in Ireland. He had a book. You're going to see, it's kind of backwards. You can't really see it, but he had a book called Stranger at the Pentagon. He also wrote many books. Dr. Strangers, if you've heard of the late Dr. Strangers, he is the man who went on the ship with Valiant 4 on Victor 1. I knew Doctor Strange's personally. So other people can talk about, Valiant Thor, and other people in the UFO world on YouTube, whatever, can talk about Doctor Strange's. But Doctor Strange's and I, before he died in 2006, I did an interview with him on WESU radio, on NPR radio. I did an interview with him. He wrote a manuscript for a movie. Yeah, Doctor Strange's. He had a manuscript that he wanted to be made into a major motion picture about the truth about Valiant Thor. The major motion picture itself, like a major motion picture, was never made. A mini movie was made by my friend Greg Cabasso in Hollywood. He's done many movies, stuff with a number of different actors and actresses over the years. And he never got to meet Doctor Strange's, but he obtained all the rights to his material from his wife, from Doctor Strange's wife, the late Mrs. Strange's. So I have most of all of Doctor Strange's out-of-print books. In 2006, he sent me all his books. And what he said to me, this is a book called Spacecraft Over Earth. Okay? This is published this is second printing. The first printing he did in 1990. Okay? And Dr. Strange's wrote me a letter. He was the head of the International Evangelism Crusade, Inc., which was in Chatsworth, California. Okay? And Dr. Strange's was the executive president, and his wife was the executive vice president. And he was involved in going all over the place at UFO conferences all over the United States and around the world. So his letter to me, this is from January 2006 of the 23rd. It says, "Dear friend, warm Christian greetings. Many thanks for your kindness and inviting me to your radio show. I found it to be extremely interesting and delightful experience. I look forward to another visit." Well, after that show I did, about a month or two later, Dr. Strange's died. I think he fell down the stairs or something happened. I don't think he died of a natural heart attack. Something else happened. I look forward to another visit. And then he sent me his books. Now, Dr. Strange's has a book here about Victor 1. All right? It says, "Over 37 years ago, I met a man at the Pentagon who claimed to be from the interior of the planet Venus. I had been given his picture approximately 1 year before by a former Air Force photographer, August Roberts. The meeting would subsequently change my life forever," he says. "Over the years, my meetings with him has developed into a friendship that continues to this day." This is when he was alive. "From time to time, I receive inquiries from the individuals regarding more specific information about the fleet of spaceships which were dispatched to the planet nearly 2,000 years ago. So 2,000 years ago, over 2,000 years ago, the Victor 1 fleets were dispatched to Earth. Now this is not even 70 years ago. This is over 2,000 years ago. All right? "It is hoped that the information which is found herein will answer many of the questions and provide the reader with food for thought about the possibilities which exist in the universe of which we are, of the planet Earth, are only one small yet significant part." It says, "I wish to personally thank Mr. Robert Hoover for his generosity in putting this material together." And then he goes into it. He says here, this is about Victor 1. Dr. Strange's and I were always talking on the phone. We were friends by phone, and then we did our radio interview with him in 2006. So anyone who's heard of Dr. Strange's or Valiant Thor, I never met Valiant Thor, but I knew Dr. Strange's almost like a dear friend, and we never met. He was in California, I was in Connecticut, but we always communicated. So it's a little bit of story time here. There's a lot of things I know that I've never shared here on the program. I'm going to start sharing with you now. You need to know these things. People need to know the truth. Parked near the shore of the westernmost reach of Lake Mead, you've heard of Lake Mead, east of Las Vegas, Nevada, is Victor 1, a spacecraft from an extraterrestrial culture in which the name CmdrAleon Thor is prominent. Victor 1 is northwest of Hoover Dam, southeast of Nellis Air Force Base, northeast of the town of Henderson, Nevada, and south of the gypsum plant. As of early December, this is 1988, it was just south of Las Vegas, Washington, about a mile northeast of the junction of Highway 147 and 166 out that way. It can move about. Victor 1 has been in the vicinity for 18 years. There are other Victor-class spacecraft which have been here for over 157 years. About 2,800 people of Earth know of Victor 1. 150 are U.S. government officials currently in office. Now, this is back in when this was published, in 1990. A limited number of people of Earth visited Victor 1, including several scientists. No government officials have ever visited Victor 1. This awesome craft is a flagship of the fleet. It's the biggest ship. The Victor 1 is the biggest ship of their fleet. Okay? A spacecraft of Victor 1 class is a 300-foot diameter disk, 22 feet high in the rim, increasing to 97 feet on the axis. Its at rest Earth weight is about 1,170 tons. I'll repeat, 1,170 tons. Okay. It's at rest Earth weight. Okay, I mentioned that the permanent crew is 187. Now, back in 1990, Dr. Strange was told by Valiant Thor that the crew was 187 personnel from Venus. In 1/100th of a second, the craft can be rendered invisible. When visible, it is tangible and would be recognized as a familiar object. Okay. When invisible, both sight and the entire electromagnetic spectrum. It is also intangible or transparent to any object, people, vehicles, weapons, aircraft moving through it. A field can be enshroud the spacecraft to repel, deflect, or absorb anything we can impose. I'm reading the book Spacecraft Over Earth. This is written by Dr. Frankie Stranges, and this information was provided by CmdrAleon Thor. Okay. Give me a second here. The field is independent of the control of invisibility. A dematerialization transport field with a range of 92 miles can move objects through intervening solid matter and walls. Weight is no limitation. The process takes about 1/20th of a second. Okay. At 90 miles, the accuracy is 14 feet diameter. At 5 miles, 5 feet. At 1 mile, 1 foot. Generally, the transport field is not used for anything of Earth. A super audio video laser type camera, one might say, can observe detailed activity throughout intervening matter with practically no range limitation regarding Earth usage. It can select and pick up any person's action and words. A person's thoughts can be detected and recorded up to 1,200 miles sporadical radius from the spacecraft. 4 classes of action, words, and thoughts are under surveillance through either destructive or constructive to either the spacecraft or the Earth. When prominent, these pop up above the general background of the mass. About 440 persons are under the surveillance from Victor 1, 81%, 257 destructive to the spacecraft, 20 or the planet, 337 and 19%, 83 constructive of the spacecraft, 6 or the planet, 77. The spacecraft drive produces offset of planetary gravitation, extreme hyperec interstellar transport, or the time displacement while assigned to Earth. Only the gravitational offset is used. I'm reading from the book Spacecraft Over Earth tonight. This is from my friend, the late Dr. Frankie Strange's. Let's see if you can see the book here. So I'm giving you for tonight, I'm going to start giving you information that I've collected from a lot of good information over the years. Stuff you will not find anywhere. You'll not be able to find these anywhere. These were blessed to me by Dr. Strange's back in 2006. Instrumentation class spacecraft. Victor class spacecraft can be accompanied by an instrumentation spacecraft which may shift position up to a few hundred miles of the usually parked Victor. A spacecraft of the instrumentation class is a 97-foot diameter cylinder, 240 feet long with two coronal ends for a total length of 300 feet. Its at rest Earth weight is 2,340 tons. The permanent crew is 161. It has all the capacities of a Victor class with additional spatial features. Its dematerialization transport field ranges at 4,700 miles with no weight restrictions. It says more than 10 such fields can operate simultaneously. It can render radioactive material inert in less than 1/100th of a second, up to 22,500 miles without damage to the carrier. More than 10 such deactivations can occur simultaneously. Either spacecraft's dematerialization transport field links the two, and not being electromagnetic is not detectable by any Earth means. About 275 people of Earth know of this instrumentation class companion to Victor 1, 155 being U.S. government officials. This is back in 1990. Let me just go into something here. Hold on a minute. And this is a section we're going to read you on Victor class spaceship deployment. Good evening, everybody. If I'm not looking at your names right now, I'm reading from the late Dr. Strange's book. I have all his books here. This book was a book called Spacecraft Over Earth. This is about the Victor 1 and the Victor 1 fleets and the Venusian space people from the Victor 1 fleets. 103 Victor-class spacecraft are on or near the surface of Earth. Active between some 287 locations, the first Victor-class visited Earth approximately 5,948 years ago. Again, the first Victor-class spacecraft visited Earth approximately 5,948 years ago. Make notes. Okay. The second, 2,925 years ago. The third, over 2,000 years ago. And at the time of the birth of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, following were about 27 visits, many ongoing until 1905, when Albert Einstein's 4 papers quickened the need for surveillance of technical development, meaning the technical development of Earth technology. Deployment reached the present 103 in 1981 during the peak threat of nuclear war. So in 1981, 103 came, the fleets of ships, because we were in the peak of a nuclear Cold War. This is all why the Venusians came. Let me see here. And here's a few specific Victor spacecraft locations. Now, this was published in 1990. So a lot of this information might have changed since 2025. The Victor 2 class, the Victor 1 I talked about in Las Vegas Lake Mead. The Victor 2 class, 55 miles east of Moscow, Russia, parked at 35,400 feet altitude. At site, 18 years, vicinity surveillance, 99 years over Russia. 2, instruction SC-1 north near Festek, a major space launching site, and 1 west near the Gulf of Riga. This is back during that period. Mexico City, Victor 1. Victor 3, 135 miles east of Mexico City, Mexico, parked on the ground at the site, 34 years, vicinity, 164 years. It says here, 10 miles off the west coast Pacific at Manzanillo in Mexico. Now, some of this could have changed. These fleets could have moved, they could have changed locations, but at the time, Dr. Strange's, when he wrote this book, The Spacecraft Over Earth, this information was accurate. And we now know that with the Ashtar Command, there are many, many more spaceships here coming from all over the universe. Victor 5, make notes. 420 miles east of Bogota, Colombia, South America. This again was published in the year, this book, published in the year 1990. The second printing, 1997. Victor 5, 420 miles east of Bogota, Colombia, South America, parked on the ground at the site 13 years, vicinity 2,925 years at that location, 120 miles east of Bogota, Colombia. Victor 6, 60 miles north of Budapest, Hungary, parked at 28,500 feet altitude, years in that vicinity, 898 years. So this information that he got in 1990 was provided by Valiant Thor and the Victor 1 fleets from the Venusians as to where their different ships were planted and when they were put there and how many years they've been there. Now, are these ships still there? Some of them might be. Again, these ships can be cloaked, so they would never be seen. Victor 7, just east of Detroit, Michigan, USA, in Ontario, Canada, parked at 12,400 feet altitude at site 91 years, it says here. The Victor 7 was located and stayed stationary at that site as a base, 12,400 feet above the area for 91 years. That was given to him in 1990. Hey, Tara, hey, everybody. And there's also the Victor 8, 60 miles west of Karagranda, Kasara, Russia, parked at 27,700 feet altitude for 46 years, vicinity for 398 years, it says here. Victor 11, these are the different Victor fleets. They call them Victor. 30 miles southeast of Berlin, Germany, parked on the ground at the site, 25 years, vicinity, 156 years. Victor 20, 26 miles west of Jerusalem, Israel, parked on the ground. This again was published in 1990. It says one over the Mediterranean Sea near Beirut, Lebanon, the other over near Alexandria, Egypt. So their ships will not be seen. Their ships will be cloaked. Victor 26, make notes. 25 miles south-southeast of the Atlantic City, New Jersey area, parked over the Atlantic Ocean. Now, you've been seeing all the activity over the Atlantic, right, with the orbs and everything coming out of the ocean. All these orbs coming out of the ocean, right? And again, I'm giving you a historical reference point from the book Spacecraft Over Earth by Dr. Frank Stranges, who I knew very well. You might have heard of him. He was a really wonderful person. He was in connection with Dr. Frank, with Valiant Thor. Valiant Thor had been to the U.S. government and met with the leaders. He had landed a spaceship in Alexandria, Virginia, in a park at the time, got through security, and was taken to the upper echelons within the Pentagon and the White House. And he ended up, all they wanted to do with Valiant Thor is, the way Dr. Frank Stranges told it to me, they were more interested in his spacesuit than they were in what his message was. They were more interested in the fact that Valiant Thor had a spacesuit that they've never seen before, and they were more interested in what his spaceship looked like and his technology was like versus the message that Valiant Thor was bringing to Earth. And for that person, I'm going to take that person out. Obviously, they don't need to be here. They're going bye-bye. And so Valiant Thor, I mean, Doctor Strange's met with, he also met with some of the major, leaders, people in Washington. He was invited, and he had met with, I think, one or two of the presidents at the time, or one of them, regarding Valiant Thor. Okay. This is stuff I know because I had always conversations on the phone with Dr. Frank Stranges. Not many people can get on here like I am right here and talk about Frank Stranges as a friend, as somebody I knew, because I did know him. I'm not making up a story here. I've got everything. I got the documentation. Everything I'm reading here when I tell you something is for real. Okay? Let me see here. Now, the victors we talk about are about 1/9 of the total deployment of 25 instrumentations, 30% of the total. And so this is interesting. This is something that's interesting. This is also from the book from the late Dr. Stranges. I should probably try to show it to you, but let's see. You can see it a little bit, maybe. Right there. The spacecraft over Earth. The late Dr. Stranges. Orbiters. This is 1990. 2 orbiting spacecraft support the Victor and instrumentation class spacecraft. The orbiters are spheres 14,750 feet in diameter, orbiting 19,700 miles above the Earth's surface, diametrically opposed on opposite sides of the Earth. The first has 15,400 permanent crew as counterpart to the Victor class. The second has 1,850 permanent crew associated with the instrument. So both of these objects have thousands of Venusians on these ships. So these objects are not made at Area 51. These objects, Area 51 didn't even have these objects. These are from the Venusians. These are their particular orbiters. They're their particular spacecraft. They have nothing to do with Area 51. Okay. An orbiter first appeared with Victor 5 2,924 years ago, then left, and both reappeared 46 years ago in 1951. Okay. Since their arrival, there have been continually tracked by the Strategic Air Command. You heard of the Strategic Air Command? In Colorado Springs, the Strategic Air Command. So our Strategic Air Command has monitored these orbiters, and they're still monitoring them. All right? Our own Air Force, Strategic Air Command, since the 1950s has monitored these Venusian craft on both sides of our planet. Yep. You know what I mean? So welcome to the show. They're using Earth's elements like glass and metals? No, they don't need to. The space people have their own abilities, their own technologies. They don't need to use anything here. They are completely independent of Earth-based technology. Great question. Let's see here. So there's also, back in the 1950s, as Dr. Strange states it, 50 shuttlecraft continually operate between the orbiters and the Victor spaceships around the planet. The permanent crew is 170. They are continually tracked by the Colorado Springs Command, worldwide tracking networks, Russian networks, and have never been reported to the public. The Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, and all government departments and officials deny any knowledge of this. Of course, our government denies knowledge of this. But the fact is, our government has been tracking the space people for years. For years, everybody. For years, they've been tracking. Dr. Strange knew this intently. He met with people in Pentagon. He knew people. He's been well respected when he was alive. And he was with Valiant Thor all the time. He always was taken on to his spaceship. Dr. Strange used to tell me that he would go out into the desert And he says when he went on to Valiant Thor's Victor 1 spaceship, when he would talk to people, and he was in the ship, and he got to talk to people, he says, "Oh, when you're on the ship, you're a lot younger." He says, "I don't even look the same age." He says, "Hey, Grace, how you doing?" When he was on the ship, Frank Stranges would tell me, he says, "Oh yeah, you look like you're 30, 40 years old." He says, "Now understand, back in the time period when I was talking to him on the radio in 2006 before he died, he told me the story about that, and yeah." The vibrational energy inside the ship is different than the Earth vibration. So his aging process changed. He looked a lot more youthful. He didn't look like he had aged. He looked very different. And then when you come off the ship, he'd go back to being Dr. Stranger's the way he actually looked. So I've got all his books. He sent me every book back in 2006 when he was still alive. I wish I had a copy of his screenwriting. He had a movie script he wrote about Stranger at the Pentagon. He wanted to make it into a major motion picture at the time. Like I said, my friend in Hollywood did a mini movie, but I think Dr. Strange's wanted something way bigger at the time. And so this is the way. He has also family people. Okay. So these are the breakdowns of the crew assignments. 3 are in communications, report to Vice Commander Thon. Okay, and these different commanders, I think, are brothers related to Valiant Thor. 5 are in observation capacity, observing the trouble spots on the planet, and report directly to Vice Commander Don. 7 act as direct assistants to Vice Commander Teal, and then 7 act as assistants to Vice Commander Don, and 7 assistants are also assigned to Vice Commander Thon. In addition, there are 7 assistant medical officers who work together with Doc. Now, these are all people, the Venusians. 7 crew members man and operate the onboard support systems. They also program and adjust the master computer system whenever there is a need for an adjustment. 2 officers maintain open channels in communication with the starship and stand ready to relay information to 3 officers in communications sector. And 3 officers operate and maintain the top-level control room, although it only takes 1 officer to operate the ship in the event that a flight is necessary. We're talking about Victor 1. This is from the book here, Valiant Thor, from Dr. Frankie Stranges. You cannot get these books anywhere. These books are out of print. And I was gracious enough to be able to be giving every book he published. I don't think he knew he was going to die at the time. And then a couple of months later, he had an accident. That gives you a little bit of an understanding about the Victor 1 spaceship. He was also president of the National Investigative Committee on UFOs. Okay? So he met some very, very important people. Like I said, he was invited to Washington when this occurred. They had Dr. Stranges go into the White House, and he met privately with some of the top officials at the time. And like I said, Valiant Thor was taken, and they were interviewing Valiant Thor in Washington secretly. And all they wanted from Valiant Thor was to know more about what his material of his spacesuit was made of. They were, more concerned about the material of his spacesuit, right? I don't know really how he died. I'm going to have to do the research again. I thought he had fallen on a stairway, as I can remember. He didn't just die of a natural death. He had been somewhere. He must have tripped or something. That's the way I believe it had happened, but I'm not completely certain. I'm going to have to go back into my information. But he was a beautiful person. If you had ever a chance to talk to Dr. Stranges, you would have loved him. He was like, you can have a sit down for a couple hours and have a cup of coffee, and he was the most gentle human being you would ever believe. He was the most incredible person. you know. And that's just a little bit about him. And I have so many books here, you wouldn't believe the information I have. I have, in all the years I've been on here, I got stuff here I can read out of books that would blow your mind. His books are out of print, Maria. You might be able to find them if you go on to out of print books on Google search. Look for Dr. Frankie Strange's books, maybe some paperbacks, if you can find any of his books. Certainly look for them. They might be available as out of print publications. eBay might be a place, or there's a thing called ABE Books. ABE Books does a lot of out of print books, so you might want to try ABE Books. That might be a possibility too. And you're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. We're glad to be with you. I want to show you a video, and this is going to blow your mind, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But this comes out in New Jersey, speaking of spaceships. And I look at a lot of video footage. And believe me, there's a lot of fake AI and CGI video out there. There is just a lot of it. I want to show you a video now, and then we'll do some interviews tonight too. Yeah, it's on Amazon. Yeah, good, Kate. So go to Amazon. Stranger at the Pentagon is the book you want to really read. That book is still, I believe, available. Okay, Amazon, good. All these other books that I have here, you won't be able to find them. They're all out of print. Oh, you're welcome. I have so much information, and I'm going to start pulling my books out, all these out of print books. This is stuff this is information that's timeless. The information I've got here will blow anybody's mind who's into the subject out there. I don't think anybody who does alive has these books that I have here. I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Let me get in here. J74, so it's factual to say that they can help Earth's problems. Yes, Jay, absolutely correct. It is factual to say that. Matter of fact, the Victor 1, Valiant Thor, the fleets, the Venusians, they've been helping our planet for thousands of years. More than that even. Thousands upon thousands of years. And that is just one grouping of people. You're talking of a planet that's billions of years old, and our planet has had many civilizations come here. If people knew the gravity of the situation and how many civilizations have interacted with our planet, and even knew the gravity of the situation of how many civilizations live in our oceans and in our Earth right now that are advanced, it would blow your mind. Yeah. Oh, Plate and Rainbow, yeah. If you go on YouTube, you can probably find old Doctor Strange's videos. And if you watch any of the old Doctor Stranger videos, as a matter of fact, I might try to, maybe tonight I might try to find one to play here for entertainment purposes only, if I do. But I'm going to show you this video, because this video is going to show you something that I really spent a lot of time viewing before I decided to show it. And this is from New Jersey. I don't know where, but it was definitely in a more remote area. And when you see this, you're going to be pretty amazed. What I'm about to show you now is going to blow your mind. Okay, let's get into it. This is for entertainment purposes only. And we'll do this here. Make sure the volume's down. Good. All right, look at this. And this is a Dior bag. This is a Dior bag in a remote area of New Jersey, late December. Late December of 2024. Okay? I mean, I got to show you at least one good video tonight, right? You want to have your minds blown away a little bit here? You can all hang out here with encounters. This is for entertainment purposes only. We're watching a Dior bag. Now that's an encoded word, so that's why we're using it. All the other stuff out there is pretty much AI or CGI. But this one here, I've observed legitimate video like this. Again, I don't know where in Jersey this was, but it was definitely in a much more remote area. Take a look. If you're not watching this video footage, you're not going to see this on ABC Good Morning America. I can tell you that right now. Not happening. Not happening. Yeah, see, we do things like this on this show, you see. We surprise you. This show is very spontaneous. If you're into the subject, you better be watching Encounters right now. If you're really into it, this is where you need to be. Take a good look, folks. As you're scrolling TikTok and you come across a spaceship on your screen, stop. I'm in control of your video. I'm in control of your TikTok. You must stop now. You must look carefully as you're now watching a video of a real, actual spaceship. What they call a Dior bag for coded messaging words. Maybe, I'm not sure, that seems to be the word. We're going to show this for a little bit here. We want to make sure everybody on TikTok sees this. Instead of all the little dots that are flying around over the place, or, oh, there's like 3 dots there in the formation. This is not a dot in the formation. That's the vibrational patterns of the energy from the spaceship. So if you study this as much as I have, and I've seen a ship as big as 2 football fields in length, and that's what these lights would look like. They were doing all over the place. Back when I was in the Connecticut River Valley back in the 80s. I saw something just like this, and it was probably just as big. You want disclosure, you want the truth, you want disclosure, let's go for it. Let's bust it out. I'm tired with this cover-up stuff. I'm tired with trying to, play games here with, oh, should I show them the video or not show them the video? What kind of world are we living in here? I came here to bust the matrix. I'm making sure every single person scanning through TikTok stops and sees this. I want to get everybody out of that. I want everybody to stop thinking about where are we going. We're right here. Right here. We're going nowhere. We're right here. We're alive and well. We're together. We have everybody around the world watching, and we're right here. I want everybody to see this. The commander is fired up. Why am I fired up? Because I'm tired of hearing all the people crying and crying and crying about we're going to have to go somewhere. We're going nowhere, folks. We're going to be right here nightly doing our stuff, doing our show, and we're going absolutely nowhere. And let's put it this way. There's not one government in the world, for entertainment purposes only, that can stop disclosure. Because you can't take away an application, because what they're trying to do is they don't want people to tell the people the truth. They don't want professionals like myself to be here to show you things and know how to document it and know how to talk about it and have a background in it that can actually speak about it. I can speak about it because I've seen it. I've been there. I'm not just learning how to drive a car here. I'm not like a beginner. Oh, how do you turn the engine on? I've turned the engine on. I put the car in drive. I've been on the highway. Many of them. What I'm trying to tell you is, I know the truth. I know the truth. And if you want to know the truth, I am so amped up tonight. Watch out. If you want to know the truth, I'm going to speak the truth. Okay? Right now. And in video footage like this is part of the truth. What I'm showing you here is the visualization of truth. You're not going to see this tomorrow morning on NBC or CBS or Good Morning America. What you're going to see on Good Morning America is pocketbooks, the latest dress wear, the hottest Disney movie, and whatever else is going on out in the world. You're going to see repeat of the news cycle and who's winning the best football team in the United States right now with the NFL. Who cares? Who cares what team wins? Really? Does it really matter? Top basketball team, who cares? This is where we're at. This is what's going on. This is the important thing here. I'm just saying it the way it is. I think seeing a Dior bag of this magnitude is way more important than buying yourself a pancake or a wallet. I'm amped up tonight. Watch out. I'm ready. I'm ready, so don't even start. A little bit blurry, not bad though. Look how it's pretty darn clear though. Jan, the spaceship's coming towards your house. I'm just kidding, Jan. I'm going to go out a little bit here. The spaceship's coming over your houses. We are here with you now. Now, I will never do this, but I do know I have the power to do stuff. I'm just not going to do it. I made an agreement not to do that. All right? Because I have respect for my brothers and sisters off planet. But I can tell you that our spaceships are here, and I'm speaking loud and very proud to tell you, our spaceships are here, and there's many, many more ships coming your way. Many more ships. When these ships finally reveal themselves, I don't care how skeptical you are, whether you're a non-believer, whether you think all this stuff doesn't exist, you're going to be shattered in your belief system pretty soon. We will make sure of that. At this point, I don't care. I want to shatter every skeptic's belief system out there. I don't care who you are, where you are, what you are. I want to shake you up until you wake up. I want to shake you up until you wake up. Do you got that? Do you get that? Do you understand that? I'm fired up here. I'm fired up here. Now, you can be sitting there watching a Sunday night football game, or you can be watching encounters where you don't know what's going to happen here. Yeah, I'm fired up, and I have something to say. I listen a lot to different people. We do a lot of interviews, but now you're going to hear the commander speak. Because I've had enough of this sadness here for the last few days of people saying, I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what to do with myself. Should I go out and get something to drink or something to eat? Maybe I should eat some Chinese food. Well, maybe I should have some Italian food or something. I don't know. Where should I go, people? Follow me, please. Please help me. Folks, get a grip. Get a hold of yourselves. Get all that fear stuff out of your system. We're going nowhere. We're right here, and we're going to bust the matrix. Right? Right. We're going to bust the matrix. Go to mommy's house. Hey, Rambo. Like that. That's a good one. Now we're gonna go back on the screen here. I think we've made a point here. Let me turn the light on here. That we've made this point. We need to go back on the flip side of the camera. Okay. Now that's one of the things that's happening here. So when we think about the essence of what we're talking about here, let me see if I could do this here. Anyway, we're going to put this down here. But I can tell you that things are really hopping and happening, all right? We know that to be the case. The reason I showed that video for as long as I did, because we want people to realize something. If you think nothing is going on, if you think absolutely nothing's going to happen to this planet, if you think that we're just living in a world where everything is the way it is every single day and night, then you need to wake up. Daddy's coming home finally. Thank you, AUBZ. Well, the commander is definitely feeling much relaxed. I have my nice little robe on tonight. But I am totally amped up. The commander's taking no garbage from anywhere. The commander will speak the truth, the cosmic truth, and only the cosmic truth here on Encounters. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing. I can interview 10,000 people right now. I love interviewing people, but you never always hear what I'm thinking, right? I always ask the questions. But I'm going to bust the matrix. It's time. We're all here to bust it together. It's not a separate thing. You don't have to go. When you go to sleep tonight and I'm not on, they'll say, well, no, he's not on now. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You're going to meditate, go to sleep in the morning, wake up, meditate, and have a great day, and realize you have the strength to bust the matrix. Enough of the cover-ups. Enough of the garbage. Enough of the lies, right? We can talk about all these things in ufology, about all the different people that have written things and done things and what they're going to do. But we're here to live it and breathe it now. We're here at the time in our history to be a part of history. We're all going to be part of history, cosmically speaking, right? Are all of you going to be part of cosmic history? You're all alive. You're all breathing. I don't care what age you are. You're all going to be seeing this. You're all going to be living it. You're already seeing it. It's already begun. You can't deny it. There are people that'll make excuses. They'll say, they'll tell their friend, do you really think those were like a group of spaceships that were above the house the other night? Do you think so there, Johnny, Bob, or Joe? Yeah, I think they were. Yeah, they looked like they were, well, I don't know. They could have been a bunch of birds or something that were hovering or something. Of hovering birds, yeah. Hovering birds. You see what I mean? I just get to the point, man. I've been in this thing too many years. I've seen too many things. I've seen with all the technology, all the AI videos on TikTok and YouTube and all the really fake cool stuff people create that look like neon spaceships and then little flying things zooming on the screen on TikTok. There are some really, really incredibly creative people here. If they put all their talents into telling the truth instead of creating videos to get viewership because they want to create all this fake stuff, they'd be better off doing it. So stop doing it. Stop creating these videos that I see on TikTok, trying to get people to watch them that are interested in the subject. And all these videos that you create, whoever you are out there, you know who you are. You know that they're fake. Why do you do it? What's the purpose? It's the only purpose I see in that is you're confusing people who have no understanding of the subject, who've never seen anything, and think, Commander, did you see that video this other person, Oshkosh Bigosh, created? It has 5 spaceships, all neon glittered lights, spinning around, hovering over an office building. And then you look at the video and it's fake. It's not real. Yeah, we don't watch them. We see them. I just look at them for the only purpose to make people aware that there are fake things out there. That's part of my job, is to make sure people know that there are things out there that you should be aware of. And there are people who are innocent, TikTok people looking to learn stuff. They'll watch a video and say, "Oh, Commander, did you see a video?" Yeah, I saw it. It's created by somebody who knows how to create a fake video. Absolutely, I've seen it. Yep, I've seen it. So you want to get to some cosmic truth now in 2025. You want to get to some UFO truth now. You want to get to some real information now. Okay? So I'll show the video again. Absolutely. I'll show it again in just a little bit. Absolutely. There's definitely a lot going on. And matter of fact, there's video footage that's older that I'll show at some point. I usually like to prepare myself when I do that, like I did with this video. I'll put together some old footage that was before AI and all this stuff, that you'll see some old footage. As a matter of fact, some of the footage from Switzerland, if you remember Billy Myers, not Billy Myers? Yeah, from Switzerland. The farmer, Billy, let me see here. Let me see if I have his video. Hold on. I might be able to show you a video here from Switzerland. And it would be, let's see, Billy Meyer video. This would be let me see if I have it, maybe Billy Myers. I'll show you a video maybe. Yeah, Billy Meyer. So I'm going to see if I can show you one of his videos. This is 1970 footage. This is from Billy Myers. And there are pictures. And you'll get to see one of these. This is from the 1970s. So we're going to show you this here. Okay, you want to see some real footage here from the night. This is before the internet and all this stuff. So I'm going to show you another video. I knew somebody who lived with Billy Meyer and met Billy Meyer back in Switzerland. He was an old farmer. He had only one arm, and he was a poor farmer. But people came from all over the world to see him. And I also believe the CIA went in there to try to create problems. Let me take a look here. You're going to see this. There's a lot of stuff out there that you might not be aware of. Let me take a look. We will enhance this here for you. Okay. This is Billy Myers in Switzerland. This is a spaceship from the Palladians. This is up in the Swiss Alps. This is an old color film. They did film back then. They didn't have, internet and all this stuff. And this is for entertainment purposes only. Those are two Palladian spaceships right there. Their aerodynamics is way different than Earth-based technology. That's the late Billy Myers. He was a very simple farmer up in the Alps. Let's see, do we have any? Can we show that again? Okay, we'll show it to you again. Wait a minute. This is some photos. Will it show? Is it showing? Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's showing. There it is. You can see the ship, the Palladian vessel, moving. The aerodynamics is way different than Earth-based ships. Well, that's the way it moves. Technology is way different. Anti-gravitational devices. This is, again, over the Swiss Alps. This is back in the 1970s. You can see how it's moving around the height of that tree. And he documented and recorded everything. Again, the late Billy Myers, a Swiss Alps farmer. Here's some other things here. And these are all video films taken of the Palladian spaceships. He met with 2 Palladian women. Here again is another Palladian spaceship. This is for entertainment purposes only. And these ships are small. They're small. They're big. They're probably as big as an SUV. The inside of the craft would be way bigger than the outside of the craft. Let me see here. If I can get it clear. There you go. Again, these are old Venusian spacecraft. And you can see the way they're built. And again, historically, this was 1970. On his farm up in the Swiss Alps, high in the mountains where he had a farm. People came from all over the world at the time to visit him and study what was going on. Pretty amazing. Okay, let me get out of this thing here. Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me turn this. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, put that down. We're going to turn the lights back on here. Give me a second, folks, to get this together. And that's one of the documented films from the late Billy Myers. He was a farmer with one arm. He lost one arm, but he was able to record and document tons of film, and he met with 2 Palladian women. And matter of fact, a friend of mine back many years ago sent me a photocopy of the 2 women. And I do have a picture of them somewhere. And when I find the picture, I'll show you the picture of the 2 Palladian women, Billy Myers. I do have a photocopy of the actual men taken from the actual photos he sent me when my friend lived in California. He sent me a copy of the pictures of these 2 women that were from the Palladian star system. So I'm sharing with you new information that I've never shared in the almost 3 years I've been on here now. But I wanted to share some information because I'm fired up here. And I think it would be good to share some cosmic truth with you here tonight on things that I know, because I know a lot of things, even though I do a lot of interviews and ask questions of people. But tonight is a night where I'm opening up to you a lot of information that you might not know about. And I want you to know about these things, because you need to know the background history of all this stuff has been going on for eons of time. Bestie, thank you. I appreciate the gift. Hey, Donna, thank you. I appreciate everybody out there. I love you all. I really do. So there is so many parts to this whole scenario. And it's been building up in our current human history, probably for over 70 years of the UFO cover-up. For over 70 years of the cover-up, these things have been building up. Some of you have only been around for a certain amount of time. Some of you are probably in your mid-20s. Some of you are in your 40s, 30s. Some of you are just turning 20. Some of you are probably in your 60s, 50s. Maybe some of you are in your 70s. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. The fact of it is, every generation has been exposed to this subject at some point. In some way, you've been actually connected. And let's see, nobody cares. If nobody cares, then nobody needs to be here. Nobody cares. Goodbye, nobody cares. So T Mays is gone. He says nobody cares. So I just took T Mays out because nobody cares. That's what you do when you deal with the commander. When I'm this amped up and you say nobody cares, you're going to be gone. Bye bye. You see, this person doesn't know me enough to know what I do. Ah, well, we took him out, Buffy Slayer. Nobody cares is now in the bye-bye land. They don't mess with the commander. And this goes for anybody who's a troll that comes in here and says, nobody cares. I will take you and send you into outer space so you'll never come back. So there you go. Don't even try. No, I take out somebody who says nobody cares. When someone says nobody cares, it's not that they don't agree. They're saying nobody cares. So if they don't care, there's no reason for them to be here. What I do is take out people that are here not to have a constructive discussion or have a serious learning experience. That person had no wanting to learn anything. I already knew it. I've been doing this for 3 years. I've been on radio, doing radio on this subject for 21. I'm not a neophyte. I'm not new at this. You know, I treat everybody, if you get to know my show, they're Labrador. I treat everybody pretty good here. You have to really be kind of ridiculous like that person was and get knocked out. We don't have time for putting our energy into things that aren't going anywhere. So that hopefully answers your question. Ah, wow. Farmer Paula, we want to bring you up and we want to hear your story. So we also do interviews here. I'm very spontaneous. The good news is I control my show because I'm the host of the show. You know, like on radio, when you call like a radio station up and they have somebody on, I've seen radio stations do it. They say, okay, well, we've had you on for like, whatever. The host controls the show. So I control encounters. And very rarely do I ever have to take anybody out unless you complete control to block anybody out there that causes problems. So we have a very organized program here. Anyway, Farmer Paula, welcome to the show.
Hello.
I'll bring some volume up. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm very happy to meet you. And whereabouts are you located?
I'm in the coastal mountain ranges in Oregon.
Oh, Oregon, beautiful state. Tell us, since you were a little kid, you've been having things happen. Tell us your story.
Um, First one, I was like 3 years old, and we went to the movie theaters, and it was a drive-in theater, and my family, we noticed almost like a horseshoe-shaped light coming from behind the screen, and it's like it was really bright and it's kind of scary, and we didn't know what to think of it. My dad's like, "Do you see that?" And I was like, "Yeah, Daddy, what is it?" And my mom was freaking out. My brother was freaking out. And it was like the movie was like over. So we were leaving. We went home. A few days later, on our property where we lived out, this was like Canby, Oregon at the time. And we woke to like what sounded like a stampede of like horses running
Oh, wow.
through our yard.
Oh, wow, that's
We
crazy.
didn't know what it was, and I ran to my mom and dad's room, and we're looking out on our acreage in the back, and my dad had built this like really cool fort. Um, if you could picture like the old forts that had like the fencing up, and then it had a building sitting on the top of the corner of the fencing.
Mm.
We look out and it was illuminated on the inside. And we were like really, really freaked out. We didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
Um, and since then, I have so many different experiences of like
Oh, my God.
missing time.
Can you come on camera? Can you turn your camera on? You think?
How do I do
Yeah.
that?
I'll go
I'm
ahead and do it.
I'm not like
There-
real savvy with this stuff.
No worries. I'm very you don't have to be nervous. I'll help you out. I've helped hundreds of people with this. There's a little icon with a line in it. It's a camera. You'll see a microphone, a camera. What you're going to do is you'll press the camera icon. It'll unlock the line, and then press save, and you'll be right on the screen.
Is it on my thing? Let me
It's
see.
on yours. It's right on your TikTok. Yeah, you'll see a lot of stuff on your TikTok. One of them is a kind of a camera, and
Okay,
it's
I
a
see it.
little, yeah, just you're gonna press it, then save it, and you should pop up right on the screen.
Excuse me, I'm in my robe too.
Oh, that's okay. I'm wearing my robe. I'm in New England, and even though it's warm in here, I'm wearing a very comfortable robe in my show tonight,
Yeah.
just to keep warmer.
Anyway, I've had so many experiences like missing time, and my dad was just like
Yeah.
absolutely obsessed after this. Um, and he had several more experiences.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but I always have this missing time experience. I don't know how I get from one spot to the next sometimes.
Yes. So
It's
your camera is still. Did you press the save on the camera? You're still not popping up. Yep. There you go. Now you're there, Farmer Paula. Great.
yeah.
So your whole
Um
family seems to be having missing time experiences too, huh?
yeah. Um I don't know what it is. I kind of feel like I've shifted. I don't know what's going on with me, so I came on. My daughter said, "Mom, go look on TikTok." I didn't even know really what TikTok was all about, but she said you might find some answers.
Yeah.
Um
You were doing this tonight,
yeah.
correct? This is the funniest thing. You found the right place. I've been involved in this subject for years. I'm a contactee. I've never been abducted. I've never had missing time, but I'm one of those people that have helped many people who've had missing time. So I'm glad you're on here. I think you're fascinating. Um, when you've had missing time, did you feel like you were taken off planet on one of these craft?
I can't explain it. Sometimes it's just like I feel like I'm in a lighted room. I have like vague memories of like a lighted room.
Hmm.
Just lots of bright lights and stuff. I can't remember really seeing anything other than the lights and kind of like
Yeah.
some shadow figures kind of in like the background. Um, although sometimes I feel like I see their faces in like my dreams or something, if that makes sense. Um, just glowing kind of beautiful beings. And I don't know how other to describe it than that.
Oh,
Just
wow.
illuminating light. And it's not scary. Um, all I feel is it's like a sense of love. It's really weird, like love that I've never experienced before, such a pure love. Not like here, down here. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Interesting. So with the missing time, when I've heard stories about missing time, people say it felt like they had an implant or a negative experience. You're saying in your missing time, the what you did feel was love.
Love, just absolute pure love. Pure love. It's not like something I find here. It
Interesting.
I don't know how do you explain that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's like it's the purest form.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you feel like energy. It's
Energy. Okay.
yeah.
And you
Yeah,
said you
for the last like year, I don't know what's been going on with me. Um I almost feel like I'm on the outside looking in, observing things that are going on
okay.
around me.
Like you feel like you're looking at the earth, you're in the human body, but you're not from here, but you're looking at here. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
I
It's like
understand
almost
that.
like a euphoric kind of feeling sometimes. I'm like, what am I seeing? What's going on around me? It's like I want to interact, you know,
Hmm.
with people, but sometimes I'm just sitting and observing. It's like I hear everything and see everything going on around me. I've got this intense ringing in my ears the last 3 weeks.
Huh.
And I told my daughter, I was like, you know what? I don't know what this is. And she's like, Mom, I gotta show you something. Look at they're showing all these like orbs and uh I don't know, drones or something in Jersey. And I was like, oh, what is this? Now I'm starting to get scared. What's going on?
Now what's
Uh
going on, right? Yeah.
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 So I came on TikTok to kind of see and
Yeah. No,
search and see what it is.
you,
And
you are amazing. I actually, as soon as I brought you on here, I'm following you. I'm on at night. I'm on at 11 o'clock at night nightly here. I've been
okay.
on here. It's my third year. I'm a professional talk show host on NPR radio in Connecticut. I'm doing a sabbatical from the radio. I'm very focused on my program here. And I'm also a person that's a contactee. So when I was a kid, I had an experience with space people in a spaceship that were human. And so I can relate to your experiences. I think what's fascinating about your experience, Paula, is that when you had missing time, you felt no negativity. And then you talk about vaguely seeing images of people in a room somewhere. Did you get to see any kind of visualization at all of what they might have looked like?
Um, they're very tall, very, very tall. I could almost kind of see like hair, longer hair, but just
Really?
like glowing, just absolutely
Glowing?
glowing. So
Hmm.
it was just like glowing skin, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am
Yeah.
I seeing angels? What am I seeing?
Angels.
I don't know.
I'm trying to really tune into this. I think it's a beautiful story. I'm really tuning into what you're saying. I'm feeling, I read into people's stories. Yeah, definitely. When you had the missing time, do you remember how long you were missing from being in this reality?
Sometimes it'd be like an hour.
An
I was
hour.
just like, whoa, what happened? Other times it seems like only 10 minutes, maybe
Uh
10
huh.
minutes. I'm like, kind of, whoa, I'm spaced
Yeah.
out. But like
Yeah.
the longest
This,
experience was like about an hour.
yeah. Well, you would be
So,
spaced out, believe me, in that situation.
yeah.
And
I'm even scared to drive now because I told my daughter, I'm like, I don't know how I got from point A to point B. You know, this happened a few weeks ago. I'm like, I don't know how I got
hmm, wait a
from here
minute.
to there
So
without wrecking.
now let's talk about driving. So have you ever been in your car when the missing time happens and you're driving?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that. This is amazing. You're driving on the road. Are you in a country area?
Yes. We're very
Okay.
rural.
Okay, so you're driving on a rural road to give it some sort of a storyline for everybody around the world. As you're driving, you're now taken onto a spaceship, correct?
I'm assuming that's what it is. I
All right.
really
So
am. I'm assuming that's what it is.
your car on the country road, going to create a scenario where they are taking care of your car while they're taking you on the ship. Your car is safely wherever it is on that country road in the rural area. You get taken on the spaceship. You come back in an hour. They put you back in the car. When you come back into out of missing time in the physical vehicle on the country road, do you just like open your eyes and you're still driving somewhere? Or are you
Yeah, I'm
somewhere
still
else?
driving and it's just like my brain just connects again and I'm like, whoa, how did I just get past everything that I should have gone through? Like we have like a tunnel that we have to drive through and
Yeah,
stuff like that. And I'm just kind of like, what's going on?
right. What's going on?
Kind of like,
And I have a friend of mine who's in Vermont. She is a dear friend of mine. That's my sister. And she is with us. We work with the space people. And your story is fascinating. She's saying they take the whole car and everything. So, and I appreciate that April is there. And April, if you want to come up and talk to her, you can. Just come in,
Yes,
April, and you
please,
can do that.
somebody. Make
No,
me
no,
feel like I'm
April,
not
I'll
going
bring April up if
crazy.
you want to talk to her too. Yeah. Um, and because if they take your whole car up, the ship is, again, the ship is massive. They can take a whole physical vehicle. The inside of the ship, did you get to see how big it is?
I I could see a long ways. Just it just seemed
Really?
massive. I could see a long ways, but then it's like in a blip. I was just in a small area and it was just like lots
And
of lights.
you were in a
It was
small
just
area,
like a
but the
blip.
ship itself internally was massive, correct?
Yes. It's like you could
Interesting.
see forever. And then it's like just if I close my eyes and then
Hmm.
I'm in this small area and it's just really, really lit. And that's when I could kind of see it was like shadowy kind of figures, but when they got closer to me, it's
Closer
like
to
they
you.
were just illuminated.
They were illuminating beings of light.
Yes.
Were they? Can you tell if they were men and women, or can you tell the sex differences, or anything?
I couldn't. I kind of felt like it was females, if that makes
Females.
sense. You just, I don't know, like
Oh,
energetically, kind of, I
energetically.
felt like I was in the presence of females.
Let me see if I can get April to come in on here. I think you should talk to my friend April. I'll see if she can come up here. Yeah, I think your story is absolutely beautiful. Mindless Occasion says she bets that the females run the spaceship, like their ship. If you were single, now it's possible that that particular ship was all females, but you felt nothing but love and radiant love from them.
Nothing but
Correct?
love.
That's your your
Your
story
story
is
is
amazing.
amazing.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
sister.
sister.
So when they take your vehicle, or when you're driving in a vehicle, obviously they're not going to want you to crash your car, so they take the whole car up with you. Then they'll place you back into your vehicle, try to get you back to situated the same way that they took you, and then they'll put the car back on the road, and then face you in the right direction, and you'll come to as you're driving, essentially.
But
But
I'm
I'm
like
like
in a
in a
different
different
spot.
spot.
How did
How
I
did
get
I
to
get to
that
that
spot
spot
safely?
safely?
I get it. Your subconscious actually will put you there, or they know where you are going, and they will stop the car there, and then you'll start snapping out of it.
Because I
Because
feel
I
like
feel
I'm
like
going
You're not
crazy.
going crazy, I promise you, and they definitely aren't trying to hurt you. I'm under the impression, and what I'm sensing right now is that that was I'm kind of reading your energy. So that was your space mom, and I'm seeing a sister, two sisters. So those were your space family who were reaching out and contacting you, which they are going to be doing with a lot of people. These are good. These are good space beings, and those are your true family.
My
My
dad kept
dad kept
telling me they're
telling me
going
they're
to
going to
come.
come.
Yep. And they have reached out and made contact with you. That's absolutely a beautiful story.
I used
I
to
used to
think
think
he's
he's
You're not
crazy.
crazy.
crazy. You're not
Oh,
crazy. I
there's
Oh,
my
there's my
dad
promise you.
dad
talking about
talking about
space stuff
space stuff
again.
again.
Nope, nope. You are not crazy. I felt crazy the first few times I went up too. Trust me, it's overwhelming, and the more that they spend time with you, they will eventually like fully show themselves to you. And they are beautiful, kind, they're funny, they're a lot like us. Just talk to them, tell them if you want to know who they are. And if you're not afraid, just tell them, say, I want
I'm
to know
not
I'm
who
not
you are. They
afraid.
will show themselves to you.
For
And
some
for
reason,
some reason,
I'm not
I'm not.
afraid because all I felt was love.
The echo thing. But no, see, and I want you to know the reason why you came here, your inner guidance came here and found us to come on TikTok, because this is where we help. This is part of what I do here, part of what April does. And April's here for a reason too, because Your story is a very warm story. When you talk about the glowing radiance of the females, that these women, without a question, you are so connected in love with them. Now, why the missing time is okay. I mean, in your case, it's good missing time. So in your particular situation, you're having a direct contact with your cosmic family. Now, I don't know. They'll probably eventually tell you what planet you came from, and no matter what anybody in your family thinks, if they make jokes of it or think it's funny, you here have a group of people, hundreds of people all over the world listening to this, and you're not crazy. I want you to realize April loves you. I love you. You came to the right people. We care about you. And I mean, April, when she does her lives, hang out with her too, because you'll be in a safe place with people that care. And on my show, we don't let anybody get on here to laugh at people or do anything, or else they're out of here in 2 seconds. So definitely no fear. If you have any tears, have tears of joy and love in your heart. You can cry right now, let go and release, but we're not going to make fun of you because, we have no
Yeah, it
reason
was kind
to.
of. I didn't want to get on the camera because I knew I'd
No,
cry.
no worries. See how, and the way you're being treated. We treat people with respect here. We don't knock you on the head and make fun of you and laugh at you, because we won't let anybody do it to us. We won't. We've been there. We've seen it. We're stronger than that, and those people are just a minority, and they won't last in this room in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
So,
I'm starting to see. I don't know if it's orbs or lights or whatever. Um, Around my house now too.
oh,
So
beautiful.
that's my husband went out with me last night and I was like, "Is that a drone?" He goes, "I think that's a drone. I'm not sure." But it's like
He doesn't know.
we're out in the coastal mountain ranges. It
Right.
takes 45 minutes just to get to a town.
To a town. Yeah, he thinks it's a drone because that's what he knows, what he's heard on TV. But if you're seeing an orb and you're seeing can you tell us what the orb looks like, the color of it, to
It was
April
like
and myself?
flickering and changing colors and going between like a pink
Yeah.
and a white.
Well, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's probably from their spaceship. They're sending unmanned orbs to be with you. And can you tell April and I and our audience how many times you've been having contact?
Those beings are they're star beings.
Over 20.
Those beings are protectors. So your family has sent those out to protect you and look after you and your family. They're looking over your property and keeping an eye out for you.
Okay.
Those are your personal protectors that your family has sent out for you. I have named mine Mikey and Lily. I have two of them.
Okay.
She has names.
Yes. But they are beautiful, beautiful beings, and they're kind. They will also communicate with you if you take the time and spend some time outside and speak to them. They'll flare up and talk to you. Well, not speak to you, but they'll communicate with you by flaring up and changing colors.
Oh, I said hello and that's when it twinkled.
Yep. That's your protector. You can give it a name as well.
Huh?
You can give it a name as well if you'd
Okay.
like.
Okay.
We'll do that.
They like that.
And you know what? I think when you see them and you give it a name, see how the colors respond to you.
Okay. And you're on here at 11 o'clock?
11 o'clock here. I'm
Pacific
here
or Eastern Standard?
I'm on the East Coast, so I'm in Connecticut. I've been on here for about 3 years. I met April. She was one of my first people. My first year I interviewed. We became really close friends, and we're very connected with the Ashtar Command. And there's a whole story behind it, but we'll get into that another time. But
please send me other information, because my daughter said TikTok's getting banned.
No, it's not getting banned.
Have somebody I can contact with, like your email or something.
Don't listen to your daughter. TikTok is not getting banned. We're going to be here, and there's nothing to worry about. Just stay focused on positivity, and that's what we're all about: positivity, positivity, and positivity.
I just want to know what's going on with me, because it's, like I said, it's weird. I feel euphoric, like shifted euphorically
Yeah.
lately. I've been very tired, and that's not like me. I'm a farmer. I have to go
Well,
milk goats and take
milk
care of things.
goats.
It's like I'm taking naps now. I'm like, what is going on?
Well,
Well, that explains it right there, because she's a farmer. So they are now collectively, actively communicating with and speaking with their family members. The space people are, but they are right now. They are currently working on people that do farming, work with plant life and things like that. And they also are actively seeking out their light worker families. And there's a few others that they are actively seeking out, and that the families are making contact like they are with you.
I was
I
a
was a
massage and
massage and
Reiki
Reiki
worker for
worker for
25
25
years.
That
years.
explains it right there. That says it all right there, because there is well, you're gonna have to come into my live at one point, and we'll get into it, because there's a reason why they're contacting you, and I will
Okay.
explain it to you. There's a whole thing going on. I'll tell you what it is, so, or I'll message you, and so that way I'm
Yes,
not
you
taking
will.
the commander's time.
This is awesome. I'm glad I found you guys. I
You
had
know,
to
I'm
like
telling
come
you.
into the bedroom
Well, you
because
know
my
what?
grandson's over.
Well, you
He's
came
being
into the you came
rambunctious
in,
out there.
well, it's good you came into the bedroom because then you turned on the TikTok, you found me, and then you found my friend April.
Yeah.
And then you
I'm so
found our whole
glad
show
because
here.
I mean that explains because I was like, do I need to stop driving? Because I was afraid I'm gonna hit somebody or something. But it's like I'm always getting home safe, and I'm like,
Right.
where did this time go?
Right. And like what April's what April's saying just got over a cold, but I'm doing good. What April's saying is true, which is they take the whole car up into the spaceship. And that's why when you came back out of not being on the planet for an hour and coming back on the road, you were perfectly fine to drive. They'll make sure you're able to be safe when they take you, and when they bring you back, they make sure you're safe too.
Yeah, because it was so weird. I was like, I left at noon and only takes 45 minutes, and I'm like, why is it almost 2 o'clock? And I'm just like pulling onto my road. That was the
Now
time that
what
it was an hour.
now what time did you leave the planet when it happened?
Around noon.
Noon. So you came
Hmm.
back around 2 o'clock, 2 hours later.
Well, by the time I got to my area, it wasn't 2 hours. It was like I left town at noon, and I was like, when I got to the country part from being in town, it was getting closer to 1. I should have been home by like 1:20. It was like
Okay.
2 o'clock when I looked at it, and I was like turning onto the last road before my house. And I was
Oh,
just
okay.
like, is there something wrong with my clock? I came in the house. I looked at my cell phone. Nope, it's almost 2 o'clock. I looked at the clocks in my house, almost 2 o'clock. I'm like, where did that time go?
Yeah.
Where did that time go? But it's like the last part, I was like, whoa, I spaced out. How did I get here safe and make all the maneuvers and turns that I needed to make and cross a highway turning
Right.
onto my road?
Because the space people, your space family, they took care of that whole situation for you. They actually control the mechanisms of your vehicle. That's why.
It's weird. And I keep feeling like when I fall asleep now, it's like I keep going into this like deeper, I don't know, I feel like I'm going somewhere.
Well, you probably are going somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you are, I mean, obviously you are because your space family is with you now. Just try to remember, like when you think you have a feeling, go with your feelings and tune into the feeling and find out where the feeling takes you. Because
Okay.
that's really important to, not so much what the mind thinks, but what your feelings are. Sometimes we as human beings, we forget to go with our feelings, and instead we think things out too much, and therefore we overcomplicate it. When we go into our feelings, that's the most beautiful part of us, is our feelings. So the next time you have feelings, close your eyes with those feelings, and just sit there for a minute or two with your eyes closed, and go in and tune into the visualization of those feelings. It'll tell you, you'll visually see what those feelings are showing you, and make a note, make a
Okay.
journal of what those things are. Keep a
Yeah, I've been
journal.
thinking about starting to write stuff down because, like I said, I was like, do I need to take this to my doctor? Am I getting Alzheimer's? Have I got dementia?
Right,
Why am I
right.
having these
No, you don't. You don't have none of that.
missing
You have nothing.
segments? I'm like,
You
I'm
need to also
54. I should
yeah.
be.
You also could you can now one thing we will tell you is that if you work to visually have a camera, you will not be able to take any pictures on the spaceship. It's just because the vibration energy of the ship is different, the technology won't work. But one thing you should do is have a cell phone with a camera charged up before you're taken on a ship. If you see any of the spaceships of these ships, videotape them, document them, take video, take
Okay.
the time to stop and videotape and let me see that
I
and
wish I
send me the
could
video.
upload pictures here because the last time it happened a couple of weeks ago, the sky got really weird out here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to be able to show you the color of the sky here. It
Oh,
was
wow.
never seen the sky here that color before. I do have to explain something that I wanted to talk to you about. So the Christmas night, we had like the worst windstorm that we've ever had here in that I can remember of 12 years living up here. Um, so our power goes out, and both my daughter-in-law and I look outside, and there was a green glow in the woods because we live like right in the Tillamook forest.
Oh, wow.
So there was like a really weird green glow, and the
And the
wind just
wind just
ripped, and I
and I
came in and
came
I
in and
got
I
the
got
kids.
the
I
kids. I
said,
said,
"Can you
"Can
guys
you guys
sleep in the
sleep in the
living
living
room?"
room?"
Because I'm afraid of the big trees on this end of the house with the way this wind's ripping, because you could hear the branches just thumping and trees falling, and but it's
But
like
it's
this
like this
green
green
glow. It was
glow.
like
It's
That
like
green
really,
really,
really
glow was
really
a
weird.
weird.
ship. That green glow was a ship in your woods. I live on a mountaintop as well. I have vast woods as well. And that green glow was a ship. It was your family, and it was more than likely an Ashtar Command Guard ship parked in your woods, making sure that your family was safe during the windstorm. Your family is actively now protecting you.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
because
had
I
other
had other
neighbors that
people
had
that had
trees
trees
drop on
drop
their
on their
house.
house.
There's
There's
not very
not very
many
many
homes up
homes
here
up
in the
here in the
mountain,
mountain.
Yeah,
but
I'm the same way.
there's a
There's
few
a
of
few of
us.
us.
Yeah. So that's what they were doing, is they were actively protecting you, making sure you guys were safe.
Okay, I
Okay,
just
I
didn't
just
know if
didn't
it
know
was
if
like
it was like
signature
signature
energy
energy
left,
left,
Don't be
from
afraid. Don't be
transform or
transform or
afraid.
what, but
what,
it
but
was
it
like
was
at least
at least
5 minutes of a
5 minutes of a
green
green
glow
glow
outside.
outside.
Yeah, no, that's a ship that is parked in your woods, and they are actively now protecting you. The same thing happens with me. I get so much activity up here. It's crazy. I mean, I
It's
can't.
It's
It's
picked
picked
up
every
up
day.
here.
here.
Yep. But I just wanted you to know that. I'm going to hop off now. It was very nice to meet you. I am following you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for
Thank you for
coming on,
coming on,
guys.
You're
guys.
so welcome.
I've been
I've been
trying to
trying to like
get
get
people to
people to
follow so
follow.
I could post a live video, because I only had like 50 friends, and I've been doing that. Oh, whatever it is, follow people so that I could try to post a video and show what's going on here. I can't hear you.
I just took somebody in the audience out as host of the show. They had a nice name, but their comment wasn't very nice and was misinformation. So I just took them out and they're blocked. But anyway, so yeah, what you're saying, and her information, my sister April's information is very, very good. The Ashtar Command, I have family on a spaceship that I have on the ship. April, who you just met, has her parents on the ship, her family on the ship. There's a few of us. We all have family on one specific ship in Vermont, where an Ashtar base is. So you have an actual Ashtar base. In that last comment about the green colors in the woods and the mountains, and she's right, they are watching over you, and it's a really beautiful story.
Yes, thank you. I'm gonna have to hop off. My husband has
I'll
to
let you
go to bed.
go.
I gotta come out and watch my grandson now.
Okay, but please record these objects and tell me, and you can message me on TikTok and let me know when
Okay.
you get some recordings. You can send them to me and I'll post them on here. We'll take a
All
look
right.
at them. All right. Hey,
Thank you.
Mama Paula, take care.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
baby. Good night.
Good night.
All right, let's do this here. All right, and you're watching Encounters. It's been a great show so far. We thank everybody. We've hit over 113,000. We appreciate all the gifts and all the. I just turned up the thing here. I didn't have my charger on, so we're good. And let's see here. Thank you, Kitty Committee. Good to see you. Thank you, Leslie. We appreciate Paul, everybody in there. The algorithm joined us. Yeah, I took out 7 moms. She said that Ashtar was disinformation. Or was she kidding about that, Ashley? We can unblock her, but where was she going with that? Let's see here. I'm just looking at the comments. Thank you. Thank you there, Palladium Rainbow. Yeah, she said it was a disinformation plan, so I took her out. Yeah, Chris Ferry, I'll bring you up. Let me bring you up on the show. Let's see. Christmas Ferry, can you turn yourself on to public? I'd like to bring you up on the show, and we definitely will answer your question. And let's see. Let's go, Commander. Thank you very much. And we are amped up. I've been amped up all night, so is Billy Meyer alive? I think he is not alive anymore. He would have been way too old to be alive. If he's alive now, he'd be over 100. Adam, a lot of the spaceships are making themselves known, like with her story. They'll appear to the people that they're connected with, and they will make themselves known. It's just a matter of time. And again, like tonight, when I got in here, I've been amped up all night. So I'm, like I said, if I've taken anybody out, I've done it for a good reason. So I'm not here to play games as host of the show. Especially with people saying it's Ashtar Command is disinformation. When someone says that, no, you don't get to go there. Let's see here. My internet is mucking up. Hey, Paranormal, good to see you. If I don't see the question, it could be that TikTok is filtering the words. But if you do have a question, I will definitely answer it. We don't play games around here on this show. I've been doing this for 3 years, and we keep it flowing and going high into the cosmic sky. I feel weird about it. Let me see here. Man, I wish it was still the weekend. I wish tomorrow would be Saturday or Sunday, but who knows? Yeah, message her, Ashley, because she said that Ashtar Command was disinformation, and she's completely wrong. So I'm not sure where she gets her information from. He's still alive. How old is he? Private. I'll have to Google it. Do you know how old he is now? He was probably back then. He was probably in his 70s, unless he's in his 90s or something. He could be. I haven't really checked on the other part of it. It might have been a mistake. So let me get back to what she said, because I heard her say it. I did hear her say it, and I remember seeing it. We're going to unblock 7. If I see her in here, where is she? Well, I'll have to find her, because I'm the one who, after the show, I'll have to take a look at her. But try to find out, Ashley, what she meant by that, because that doesn't go. Hey, Crystal, welcome to the show. I want to get into seeing if we can at least get into Eric Chapman. I'm trying to raise my frequency now so I can be more connected. All right, and Eric, that's a good thing. So part of that is, I think if you're trying to Notorious, absolutely. You can get a follow, my friend. And you now have a follow there. Absolutely, no problem. So, in terms of like wanting to get yourself in a higher frequency, I always tell people that are getting into that for the first time, really it's using higher vibrational musical patterns. And for me, I love YouTube for that fact, for the music. I use what I call cosmically Christed ambient music. And when you listen to that music, it is at a very high frequency. And what you want to do is maybe a 30-minute meditation per day in the morning, maybe 30 minutes before you go to sleep, and put yourself into a state of consciousness where you're using the word Om or You. Either one of those two words, Om or You, repetitively, will put you into a very high state vibrational frequency, which will also give you the state of higher frequency of peace, but it'll also get you prepared for when the day comes when you'll be able to be ready for interaction with, let's space people. So meditation is a really key factor now for everybody around the planet to get themselves settled into a very high state of consciousness. And that's through meditation. That's, Eric, the best way to do it. Deborah says, late night I went outside, couldn't sleep, sky was clear except some black clouds just above me. Yeah, we might want to do that, George. That's a possibility. I mean, I'll have to think about that, but that is a possibility. Chain. I love to meditate. Good. Let's see here. Do you think they are coming more frequently and will increase? Yes. So I think it's Sandy Academy. I might have gotten messed up there. Yes, you're going to see an increased frequency of more of what we call the spaceships coming to Earth. You will see a lot more of that happening, absolutely, without a question, this year. This year is going to be a year where you're going to see, when you start the end of last year, the beginning of 2025 is only the tip of the iceberg. You're going to see, folks, so many more things happening that are out of this world around our planet. You're going to be like, your eyes are going to be popping out. Hopefully not, but you know what I mean. It'll be different. Let me see if I could show any more footage here. And let's see if we can do this. So here we go. And now we're going to log in. And we're going to show you hopefully some more footage here. See if there's anything that I could. Now these, I don't want to show you the Dior's. This is in Pennsylvania. This is pretty weird. Then there's 4 orbs in Colorado. Anything interesting to show you tonight? There's tons of stuff here. All over the world, people are saying things. Trying to see here. Still looking. We'll take a look at a few other things here. Hold on a minute. Let's see if we have anything from the reports from pilots. Are pilots seeing anything? No new pilot reports. Nothing interesting. I think we've run out of the pilot reports for tonight. We also look at airline pilot reports here. Let me see what we got in the queue. Cuddy, we're going to bring Cuddy up. Cuddy, welcome. Our friend Cuddy, welcome to the show, Cuddy.
Hello, Commander.
How you doing?
Great. I just want to see if you wanted to sing or if you want to share anything positive, meditation, love, anything.
Yeah, I not so much yet, but I think tomorrow night we might do some of that. I think Monday night we're gonna mix some of that in here. Tonight's been really an amped up night for me because of all the stuff that I'm sharing, and there's also some books here. I mean, I've got so much stuff here, people wouldn't believe what I know here. But there's a book. If you ever get to read the book by George Hunt Williamson, here's a book here. You can't see it. These are all out of print books. You'll probably not be able to find them. He actually was able to talk about the space people. He wrote a book about the space people back in the 1950s, and it was about how he made contact with them through tube radio transmitters. And this is back in the old days. So, and he wrote that book called, he wrote many books actually. And there's a book here. This is a woman who I have a high respect for. She's a friend of mine. Her name is Omnionic. She's a very beautiful woman. She is from Venus. Her name is Omnionic. I know her personally. The book is called Omnionic, the Venusian Trilogy. From Venus I Came, Angels Don't Cry, My Message. So this book is a trilogy of her experiences, and it's published in English, but I think it's available in Germany. You might be able to find it online. Just do a Google search. And this is Omnionic. Look at her.
Beautiful.
She's a Venusian woman. She's from Venus.
Very positive.
Yeah, very beautiful. So, that is, so how have you been? How's everything been on your journey? Pretty good?
I've been good, meditating, focused on love. I was wondering, did you get your Christed powers? Did they give me your Christed powers, or did you develop them?
I still have my powers to do the things I do with people that have been abducted. But when I was sick, I basically have spent time, when I wasn't on here, spent time really getting rid of a cold. And I didn't want to be alive doing things with a cold on because it's not the way I am. And you don't want to come on live with half your energy anyway. So I never would do that. But I've been really amped up since I got over the cold. Well, I have a little bit of a cough left, but I'm doing really good.
I know how to kill the cold really fast. I killed COVID in 6 hours, H1N1 in 12 hours. That's when I started back in 2012.
Yeah.
I developed my energies back then, and I figured out if you flush your system when you first feel the cold, you got to flush your intestines with laxatives, flush your lungs with steam, and then you flush your blood with detox tea. Then after that, you try to do an hour of heat flash meditation. Do you know heat flash meditation?
Nope, but my daughter has, she's a vegan, and she's in a vegan cafe for all these years. I have it's called a elixir that she gave me, and this stuff has spices and stuff in it. And when I took that thing, you have to drink it really quickly. That thing cleared out my whole system within minutes. There's something in the elixir. It's all organic. It's all these different things that are like a spice with a little bit of citrus. And this elixir, one thing of the elixir, and there's like 2 or 3 different ones. They're all very powerful. And I took the thing and I just like cleared. I drink tea and stuff with honey. This stuff cleared my whole system out.
Yes, heat flash meditation is naturally a thing that people do, but they don't know it.
Yeah.
Heat flash is like when you get a heat flash when women have their period, they have a heat flash, or when men they experience the heat flash when they have extreme flu at the end of their flu, they have a heat flash that overcomes them. But you can actually induce it with meditation. All you do is imagine a heat bubble inside of you. You blow that heat bubble up, adding more heat until it bursts, and it creates a heat flash.
Oh, cool. Make notes, everybody, whoever gets cold or anything. Hey, that's good information, Cuddy.
Yeah, there's a lot of powers that I've been discovering since I have been meditating.
Oh, good.
I've been developing telekinesis. I've been developing a transmitter in my brain.
Oh, good.
I've been multidimensional.
Well, that's important. The multidimensional thing, yeah.
I visited Buddha. He taught me how to heal myself. Very beautiful.
Yeah.
And
See.
then one time, Sheba had visited me. He didn't say nothing because he's an observer, meditator. So he's just being a good role model.
And you have video up. You have also video people can look at too, right?
For meditation,
Yeah.
yeah, I got meditation videos, how people meditate, Kundalini.
Yeah. They all
It's
they have to do is
important.
go to your main page if they want to see them, right?
I don't have them up on my page, but they're
Oh, you
on
don't
YouTube.
on YouTube.
They're on
Okay.
YouTube. That's where I got
What
them
is your
from.
YouTube channel in case people want to look at them up there?
I don't have YouTube. I just stay low key. I just try to help people out that want
Oh, all
help
right.
and
You're just
people that ask
you're a
for help.
hands-on person helping folks. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
because it's hard to tell people what they want to do because they're stubborn and people want to do their things their own way, and everybody has their own way of figuring out
Well,
how to
that's
figure.
true too. That is true too. All right,
I'm
man.
not really too much of an influencer, but if they help, I give them knowledge, and what they do is they
Yeah.
follow the pathway to
There you
love,
go.
light.
Well, you definitely have the energy, man. I've known you for a long time. You're definitely in that frequency of love. Hey, Cuddy, I want to thank you, man, for coming on here towards the end. You've been a blessing, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I recommend do like a prayer at the end, or a meditation on love at the end. The more love consciousness we have, the more power we have. It's a hidden power that if we all gather our meditation powers together and have one conscious mind, unity, we control reality. And that's what it
Exactly.
is for our consciousness. They're fighting over our consciousness,
Exactly.
and they're
That's why
trying to
this show is here,
program us.
because this show, with all the stuff we do at the end of the show and even at the beginning of the show, I always tell people everything is about love. You know, at the end of
Absolutely.
the program, when I go up, people don't realize when I go off here, I have a galactic portal that's open in front of me here. You wouldn't even know it, but I do. Every night I do this show, at the end of
I
the
believe.
show, I bring in the angelic beings to go into the whole house. And what we do is, and I myself send a beam of light from the basement all the way to the top of the house here. We do a complete clearing of all the energy from after doing the show. And we also bring all those together to the portal of light, which is, I envision it when my eyes close, a golden portal of light, which exists. And then we also bring all those to cross over the portal of light. And after we're done doing that, the angels are the ones involved with that. And then we close the galactic portal. And then at that point, we make sure everything is clear. And then after I do that and I shut the show down and do that, then I get myself into meditation for about 30 minutes. Then I go to sleep off planet. So there's a whole process that people don't know I deal with at the end of the show. But before we go off the air, I always bring in that frequency of love. Well, you've seen it. I always tell people that when you leave the show, go with love. When you come here and watch the show, we greet you with love. So we greet you with love and we end the show with love. And that's really the most important thing. I just want people to be strong in their hearts, in their light, and realize that we're in an amazing time to be alive on Earth right now. So, you know.
Now's the time if you want to sing a love song. I got an instrumental for you.
I don't want to
Not
sing
to
a
put you on
lot.
the spot. Maybe
Why?
later.
Maybe later. Let's think about tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Well,
But
love and peace.
I know people like my voice. Tomorrow night we will do at the end of tomorrow's show. That's interesting. We'll do. Oh man, we'll do a love song. Who gave me that one? Stay of the. Thank you, Sonia. I needed that. But we'll do a song tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Love you. You have a good night. Blessings, love, light, and peace.
Love, light, and peace to you. And we just blocked somebody promoting nude videos. So they got these nude video people coming onto people's lives, and she wants people to watch her. I just blocked her, and she is no longer going to be seen. Crazy, you know. Anyway, everybody, yeah, I have mods. You know, how many mods do I have on here right now? Any of my mods even here? Let me see. Are any of my mods even here right now? I have 0 mods. Thank you. So I know at least what I'm gonna do. They could have fallen asleep. This is one thing. If I do put another mod or two on here, one of the things you have to do to be a mod, my longtime viewers, is make sure you're not taking anybody out that maybe made a comment that was misunderstood. If they're like saying if they're saying BS to the program, or think it's funny, after you hear them make two or three comments, and if they tend to be continually negative, then at that point I would want a mod to take them out. So I want to be real careful when I make a mod that we are following a universal protocol on my show. I've got some good mods. They might have went to sleep already. You know what I mean? So, thank you. So I think what I'm going to do, Flight of the Navigator, no. I will only mute if you tell me to. Okay. So I'm going to take Dazed. Dazed, you're going to be a mod. I know Dazed enough to know. And I will add you as a moderator. And I think I know Jordan enough. Jordan, I'll make you a moderator for tonight. For now. So I have two new moderators here. Actually, for some reason, TikTok's not letting me do it. It does that once. I don't know why. I tried to make you moderator, but TikTok won't let me do it. I don't know what it is. That's pretty weird. Baby T. Alicia says, I'm seeing a certain number often supposed to mean something. Thank you, Sophie. I think certain numbers do mean something. It depends. I'm not really a numbers person. Sonia, thank you for the potato. Now I'm getting hungry here. Oh, thank you so much for that. I feel that brings me back to the 1960s with flowers in my hair and to power of love and all that. Kabashi, let's see. Welcome new mods. George Martin Hart. Let's see. April would like to be a mod. I will. Jody K. I know a lot of you folks will. So I'm gonna see if it's just I have too many mods now. I'm not sure what it is. Cleo, thank you. Okay, I can't do that. Yeah, Jody, you'd have to turn your settings to. Well, actually, you don't have to do anything. I don't think. Yeah, I guess I have too many mods now. It won't let me. Well, I can't do any more mods. I think I maxed out my mods. I can't put any more mods in right now. So what I'll do is go over my mod list. Thank you, Half Pint. I think on TikTok, if you do too many mods, you come to a max list. I'll have to do some research and see how many mods I can have on here. But it's now about 1:06 in the morning. So I think we're going to call it a night. Been a great show. We got to show some great videos, shared some great stories about Valiant Thor. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Somebody put lipstick on my cheek. That's amazing. You know what I'm going to do? I just want to say I'm going to sing you a very short song at the end of the show here. And the song is called I Love You All. That's all. I'm just going to sing it. And if you've never heard me sing, the commander is multi-talented, if I do say so myself, but I do have the ability to sing. I could do it in a Bob Dylan impression. Thank you for the teddy bear. I could do my Bob Dylan impression. I love you all. It's been so many years. I grew up in the 60s. We had so many beers. I went to Woodstock. I felt really good. I'm still playing that guitar harmonica as I should. But now I'm on a spaceship traveling in the stars. I'm going to the moon. I've been already to Mars. Saturn's next. I don't know why. I'm gonna go into outer space. It's the place. There's a star not too far where I want to go. It is good. I should be there soon. As I get beamed up into space, I'm now traveling beyond the human race. Because I love you all, I'll never fall. Because I am the light, and that is all. Have a good night, everybody. Be at peace. How's that? You got a song, impromptu, from the commander at the end of the show. Take care, everybody. Thank you for all the gifts. We'll see you tomorrow night because TikTok's going nowhere, and I will be here at 11 o'clock.